Hi, welcome to new lesson. For this lesson we are starting second exercise, our second project. What you see is our second site that we are going to make together. We are starting by making a new folder that's gonna be named Project 1. The folder is going to be opened in brackets. Inside of this folder, we are making a new file. New file, index.html. For this project, we will also need a folder for CSS document. Inside the existing folder, where is index.html located, we are going to make a new folder and call it style. Inside of style folder, we are creating a new file called style.css. For this site, we will also need pictures, so we are going to create a folder called img. When we have finished all of this, we are starting to write code in our index.html document. Again, we are going to use our HTML skeleton. We are adding basic skeleton, and this time we are gonna add external style sheet. Okay, done. We have a problem here because script puts it out of HTML element and we need it inside of it. So we are going to move it here in head element. After this, we are going to link our style sheet. We link it by writing style. Brackets over that style, so we click on style.css. By doing this, we have connected HTML and CSS document. Next thing that we are going to do is to add English language. To attribute lang, we are going to add value en. This time, we will leave this char set. Char set is a set of characters and it allows us to use letters with ticks. In this project, you won't be needing that, but we recommend you to leave it every time. Next thing we will do is title. Title for this site is 72Health.info. After adding title, it is needed to find font which is going to be used for this site. We are going to use Google Font to find it. We use Google Fonts because they are optimized for web, which means they load faster and they are customized for web. We type Google Fonts. Font that is going to be used in this project is font used on this picture. It is called Oswald. We click plus and then customize. We choose font weight that is going to be used. Here we will use 300, 400 and 700. Okay, when we have chosen all font styles, we click Embed. We copy this code and don't close the browser because we will need it more. In index.html, let's copy our font. Alright, when we have finished this, let's move on to creating concrete page. We are starting by making a div with container class. We are doing this with the help of Emmet plugin. We write div.container and press tab. By doing this, we have saved some time. We saw how does Emmet plugin works. Inside of a container, we put div header. Inside of header, on the site, it will going to be only menu. So that means this is only header. We are starting with menu making. Inside of menu, there is this logo that we are going to do as H1. H1 72Health.info. Under H1, there is an ordered list placed. Through work, we will be using Emmet plugins sometimes and sometimes we won't, just so we teach you how to work with them and without them. Now, we will write a code without Emmet plugin. We write ul class nav menu. Inside UL, there are A tags being placed. For now, we write hashtag inside href. It is an empty link right now. Inside every A tag, there is li tag. Here, we write home. Behind A, we put mouse cursor and we press 4 times Ctrl+D. And now we only change titles. Next is About, after that Menu, Gallery, and Contact. Very well. Now in Brackets Live Preview, we will see what we have done. We have finished HTML for this header. And we have this. So right now, to get what we want, we need to use CSS. That means that we are transiting to CSS. Open style.css and let's start making a style. When it comes to style, first we will use basic setup settings. However, first we will put information that are used on site in comment. We will call them default values. In default values on this site, we will enter font Oswald or any sans serif font. Colors that we will be using. Colors that we have chosen for this site are the midnight blue. Its code is 2C3E50. This color we have chosen on Flat UI Colors site. Next color is alizarin, and that is this red color. Its code is E74C3C. Here we can see the colors because brackets allows us to see them. Okay, this all was only a comment, so we are going to close it now. It is something that makes it easier for someone else to work on our site, but it will also make easier for us to manage more codes. Next thing we are going to do is basic setup. We will make basic setup that are going to be used as in this, also in our next projects. Those are settings that are used almost in every site. We are going to make a comment for basic setup. We advise you to make basic settings and later on to use them when you need them for different kind of sites. By doing that, you will save yourself a lot of time because you won't have to write same codes again and again. First, we write asterisk, which means that it refers to all code on site on all elements. Box sizing is border box. Margins and padding we put 0 because every browser by default has its own margins and padding. So that we could have the same on all browser, we put 0. Next thing that we are defining is body tag. For body we have font family. Font family is Oswald or any other sans serif font, if Oswald font isn't available for some reason. After that, we define style that is mostly used for lists. We don't want our lists to have a line under letters, so we put list-style, none as default list style and display an inline block. That is something that is mostly used for lists. If in some concrete example we won't be needing that, we just delete this code. One more thing that often occurs are links, so we have to define them too. For A, we will define text decoration none. Next thing we need is this container here, so we need to stylize it too. That we will do right now. Dot container. Dot is being used for selecting a class in CSS. By doing this, we have selected elements that have class container. Its maximum width is 1400 pixels. That is this white space. Then, margins are 0 and automatic, top and bottom are 0, and left and right are automatic, which means that it is centered in the middle of the page, as you can see. Background color is FFF, which is white color. With doing this, we have finished basic setup and now we are focusing on header of page. We can copy this comment, but the recommendation is to have a comment for every section. It makes sections more transparent for viewing. Let's do header. Okay, we are starting with header stylizing. First thing that is going to be done on this site is body stylizing. Body needs to have this blue color for background. So we write body. We can also write BGC. That is abbreviation that is given by Emmet plugin. Then we click color. We need this color and we are going to copy it in the value for background color. Now we go to our site and we can see that it is a site with this color. Okay, we have done something. Next thing that is going to be stylized is H1. We are going to stylize it by selecting it, and we are selecting it like this. We can select it this way because it is the only element placed in header element. This is one of the different ways to select something, and through this course we will show you more ways to select something. When we have selected H1, we will add to it text align center. After that, we will add a color. It's our color, midnight blue. We copy it. Ctrl C, then Ctrl V. We will add padding of 20 pixels to it and 0, which means that it will be parted from top and bottom sides by 20 pixels and 0 by left and right. Okay, now we see what we have. However, on our picture, this part is red. Because of it, in our HTML code, we need to add a new element. So, the info part, after dot, we will put in span. Span in front of info and close span behind the word info. This is done so we could select the word info. Now, we are returning in our CSS and we are writing. We can click a couple of enters so it will increase the space between. We copy this and paste it beneath. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, span. And we put the color. That is our color. We copy it. Ctrl V. Okay, now let's check out what we got. We got what we wanted. Next thing we are going to stylize is nav menu. We can separate it by one comment. First thing we stylize is this unordered list with class nav menu dot nav dash menu. Text align is center. Text transform is uppercase. We can use Emmet plugin TT and tab. That is text transform. As you can see, those changes we can see in live preview. And background color. That is this color. Some kind of white beige. We will take the FA color. Let's see. We got the color we wanted. When we have done that, we will stylize nav menu dot nav dash menu. That is stylizing those tags in nav menu. Their color is going to be, let's check it out. Their color is this blue. Let's copy it. And we are going to do one more thing. We can see that when we hover mouse, nothing happens. The color is still the same. Let's use pseudo class. We are going to copy :hover. And now we define which color is going to be when we hover those elements. And the color will be our red. Let's find it. That is this color. We copy it. Let's see now what happens. You can see the hover effect. Last thing that is going to be done on this menu is the thing that is missing. You can see this part right here. Let's do the padding. dot nav menu li. With this li, we add padding 20 pixels. Now we see that this is what we wanted to get. By doing this, we have finished first lesson in this project. Next thing we are going to do is this part right here. So we go with this part. That is everything for this lesson. See you in next one.